I created this channel is because I want the conversation to move forward. I don't want it to be stuck. Stuck na yung atheist is magle-lecture na naman ano pala ang evolution or how it's not connected to becoming an atheist. Ganito kasi yung napapansin ko sa mga Facebook and sa Facebook in general, na maraming tao hindi nakakaintindi sa position talaga ng isang atheist. Ano ba yung worldview niya, ano ba yung stance niya, and ano ba yung hindi niya stance. In all honesty, I want to witness conversations between an atheist and a theist that are really mind-boggling and mind-challenging, na makakabigay ng sa both sides. Kasi I too have witnessed debates between atheists and theists na mga matatalino talaga sila and alam talaga nila yung mga posisyon ng isa't isa, and they are not explaining about terms, and they are not teaching the other person what evolution is kasi alam ng theist what it is, and they are criticizing evolution based on findings, based on the weakness na nakita ng isang theist about evolution. Yung mga ganun dapat. Hindi yung mga usapan na galing tayo sa unggoy na naman, na galing daw tayo sa unggoy. It's almost laughable, no? Na I want to sana mag-progress tayo. It's when this moment na this person, I don't know who he is, but he is referring to Friedrich Nietzsche, and i-play ko na lang.
According to kay Nietzsche,
Sinusulat ko eh.
God is dead. God remains dead, and we have killed him. Yet his shadow still looms. How can we console ourselves, the murderers of all murderers? Ayan ang creed nila eh. The holiest, mightiest thing the world has ever possessed has bled to death under our knives. Who have to invent our lives? Who will wipe his blood from us? With what water could we clean ourselves? What festival of atonement, what holy games will have to invent ourselves? In this is the magnitude of the deed, not too great for us. Do we not ourselves have to become gods? Merely to appear worthy. Ayan ang creed nila. Baka nga hindi nila alam yan eh.
So, while I was reading, na-capture ko tong moment na to, but what he was trying to say is, at yun daw yung creed ng atheism. I didn't really know that meron palang creed, na para palang itong religion na may parang dapat mong gawin. Kasi, eto din ang tendency talaga ng kagaya mo, isang religious na person. Ang tendency to view us as person na opposite lang. Same tayo, same ako na nasa isang religion din, but opposite lang. I'm just in a different camp. So, learn to understand na we are not the same as you are anymore. I don't belong in a religion anymore, and hindi na applicable yung mga creed na mga ganyan. Kasi there's no such thing as creed ko, no? Na kaya ako sumali dito, and hindi pala ako ignorant pala ako sa creed, therefore hindi pala ako totoong atheist. Kasi hindi ganoon yung proseso namin. Walang nagpa-register sa amin para maging atheist. Ang nangyari is we are starting to doubt. We feel like we are no longer hindi na kami belong sa church. We are distancing ourselves na. We are questioning now. We are more doubting than being faithful. That was us before. And we are looking for words. What are we? Are we Satanists now? Are we evil? Are we morally bankrupt people now? The first word that the first label na in-embrace ko is yung word or label na agnosticism. Kasi sa pagkakaintindi ko, agnosticism says, I don't know. And that was how I felt before. I don't know din. Meron ba si Jesus Christ? Totoo ba talaga siya? Parang wala namang way para ma-prove na narinig ko na yung mga proof pero hindi pa din ako convinced, hindi ako napaniwala. Kulang pa din sa akin. So I think I'm an agnostic. So walang creed yun, ano? I'm just looking for labels that best fits what I am. Kasi ang hirap namang sumagot sa isang tao na hey, do you belong to the Baptist church or do you go to this church? Sorry, hindi ako naniniwala sa mga ganyan. Parang pwede siguro, pero there are labels, 'di ba, na that encapsulates phrases into a single word. It's easier to say. It's just a label. So, pwede akong hindi pala talaga atheist and may other words pala that best describes me, and that's okay. I can let go of atheism. Hindi naman siya religion na it defines me, no? If hindi pala, mali pala ako the whole time what my definition is of what an atheist is, then okay, let me know ano yung pwede kong tawagin sa sarili ko, kasi give me the definition of that new label. I will embrace that as well. Kasi wala hindi ito something na hindi siya parang religion. Hindi siya parang I'm a Christian. There's like a creed of what a Christian is. Hindi siya ganoon. It's just a label, nothing else. Nothing else. Walang ugali na dapat meron ang isang atheist. Wala, label. Label lang. Okay? So, walang creed. And the way he talks pa dito kay Friedrich Nietzsche, and he showed a book sa Oxford, is it's like an argument from authority, no? Na parang Oxford book na to, So, hindi ninyo alam ano ang definition ng isang atheism, and hindi nila alam to. So, hindi ko alam. hindi ko nga nabasa. I mean, I've heard about Nietzsche, but I'm not familiar with his works, no? I'm not really familiar with his works. And that's okay. Atheist ka pa naman din. As long as hindi ka naniniwala, that's just your label. No? Walang kailangang intellectual capacity para maging atheist ka. Walang kailangang creed. I don't know what even a creed means. So, let's go back to sinabi niya na, kasi later in this video, he will say na someone will comment na, so sinabi nila na patay na daw ang Diyos. That means they believe na mayroong Diyos and namatay lang. So, madali lang itong sagutin actually. Yung sinabi ni Friedrich Nietzsche, it's a known phrase. It's a known phrase and it was misused. And a simple Google search, you will actually know what Friedrich Nietzsche means. Hindi niya ibig sabihin na isang literal God ang pinatay or I killed him. Hindi niya pinatay, hindi siya pumatay ng God. It's just a provocative statement. People do that all the time. Writers do that all the time. Sino bang mga provocative? Like parang clickbait. Social lang yung pangalan, provocative statement. So, basahin ko, when Friedrich Nietzsche declared that God is dead, he was making a provocative statement about the decline of religious belief in Western culture. Nietzsche argued that the traditional conception of God as a transcendent, all-knowing, all-powerful deity had become increasingly untenable in the face of modern science and philosophy. So, yun lang naman yung sinabi niya. Wala namang literal na sinabi niya doon na pinatay talaga yung na patay na ang Diyos. Namatay na siya. Walang literal na nangyaring namatay na Diyos. Walang literal na naniwala ng isang buhay na Diyos ang pinatay. It's just a provocative statement to express na religion is slowly declining because there are a lot of tools that have been discovered now na pwede nang imbestigahan yung mga claims kung totoo ba o hindi. Kagaya na lang ng namatay na ng mga Diyos like ni Zeus, ng mga Greek gods, di ba? Patay na sila. Did they really die? Did Zeus really die? No, it's just a term na namatay sila because we were able to learn what thunder is, how storms work, how tides work. We killed them through science. It's a provocative statement. It's not literally killing Zeus or Poseidon. So I hope you understand that this is really isa din ito sa gasgas na masyado na term na pang sampal nila sa mga atheists na a known atheists like Friedrich Nietzsche said God is dead, so therefore Friedrich Nietzsche believes in a God. I don't fucking know that guy, man. Listen to me, because I'm the one you are talking to. Let's have a discussion. I mean, it's okay you refer a book, no? And that's also very fine that you've referred to an Oxford book to argue na ito naman ang ibig sabihin ng atheism eh. It's a belief na walang Diyos. Anong non-belief? Nandito sa book na to na God does not exist daw, sabi ng mga atheist. So, guys, let's remind ourselves na words evolve as well. Okay? Languages evolve over time. So, for example, may na-post sa Filipino freethinkers na maganda yung discussion I forgot, but ang point ng usapan is kung nagamit yung term na yon, wag ka namang ma-offend kasi he said it in a way sa kung ano yung naintindihan niya, and yun naman yung nature ng words it needs to have context. It needs to have context. You don't have to take all things literally. There needs to be context. Kaya nga sa Bible, di ba? When we talk about the Bible, we understand that there are things in there that are poems, and there are fables and parables. There are literal historical statements, and we are figuring out what those are para mag-adjust yung namin, ang criticisms namin. Okay, this isn't literal. This is like in a fable, and it has a lesson. Okay, what's the lesson here? Let's attack the lesson, not the story in a literal sense. That's what we do. And there are atheists that don't do that. So I'm sorry if you've encountered people like that, but that's how conversations work. You need to adjust. So for example, when do you believe in a God, and na-offend din yung mga theists when an atheist asks which God? We are actually literally asking that, na which God are you talking about? Kasi we are respectful enough to acknowledge that there are a lot of people who believes in different gods. You believe in Jehovah or Yahweh. Others believe in Allah. Others believe in Vishnu. And that is why we ask which God. Kasi we then adjust our understanding of that God based on the definition of that God, based on the attributes of that God. We will then criticize using our knowledge of what that God is. Hindi yung i-apply namin sa lahat na Kristiyano kayo lahat. It's unfair, di ba? To treat everyone like Christians when there are Muslims, there are Hindus. So that's why we ask. We are not being offensive with that. We're just sincere in asking which God are you talking about. Although there are again atheists who use that to insult, no, to make fun of which God are you talking about. There are nuances in conversations. There are nuances that hindi mo talaga malalaman kung yung tao is being sarcastic or just being satirical or is being literal. You need to ask. That's why we need to have conversations para alam natin yung stand talaga ng isa't isa. So, okay. On the point of yung sinabi ko nun ng Oxford na ang definition pala ng atheism is a belief that there are no gods, I am not that. I am not an atheist in that sense. And if you will argue na hindi ka pala atheist kasi base sa definition ng Oxford, the belief that there are no gods. So I will then again say na words evolve. Okay? So let me read to you how the word atheist evolved through time. So way back in the 5th century BCE, the Greek word atheos meant godless or without gods. This was way back, no? Ang tagal na pala na meron na palang mga tao na mga matitigas yung ulo. So, the Greek word atheos meant godless or without God. So, they were able to live ancient Greece without believing in a deity. It was often used as a term of abuse against those who rejected the traditional polytheistic religion of Greece. And then in the 1st century BCE, the Latin word atheos had a similar meaning to the Greek atheos. In Roman society, atheism was seen as a threat to the social order and was often punished by death. So, I'm lucky to not be born in that age. If I was born in that year, I would not be an atheist. Of course, I will die. Hindi ako magpapatigas ng ulo, magtatago ako, I'll pretend, If I have questions, I'll just pretend, mamamatay ako eh. So, yun, meron na pala, 1st century, atheos. And, hinahunt sila and punishable by death daw yung mga atheist. Middle Ages, that's 5th century to 15th century CE. During the Middle Ages, the term atheist was used to describe anyone who rejected the Christian faith. This included not only those who explicitly denied the existence of God, but also those who held beliefs that were deemed heretical by the church. So hindi lang pala yung mga non-believers, pati yung mga hindi naniniwala sa church, but also those who held beliefs that were deemed heretical by the church. May belief na heretical. May belief that were deemed heretical. So, hindi lang daw sa non-belief or the denial of the existence of God, but those who deemed heretical by the church. Beliefs that were heretical by the church. 17th to 18th century, during the Enlightenment, the definition of atheism shifted to refer specifically to those who denied the existence of God. This was a period of increasing skepticism and rationalism, and many intellectuals began to question the authority of religion. So 17th to 18th century, nag-shift this was atheism shifted to refer specifically to those who denied the existence of God. I deny that there are gods existing. Okay? I am not that. I don't deny that there are gods existing. So hindi ako atheist siguro at 17th and 18th century. Now in the 19th century, the term agnostic was coined to describe those who were uncertain about the existence of God or the supernatural. So I am that. Before, I am now, and then I am an agnostic. This led to a further refinement of the definition of atheism. In 19th century, because of the agnostic term, na-refine ang definition ng atheism, which came to be seen as a more radical rejection of religion than agnosticism. So it's seen to be a more radical rejection of religion than agnosticism, ang atheism. 20th century. In the 20th century, atheism became increasingly associated with Marxist and socialist political movements, which saw religion as a tool of oppression. This led to a more political definition of atheism, which emphasized the rejection of not only God, but also the social and economic systems that were seen as supporting religion. 21st century CE. In the 21st century, the definition of atheism has become more diverse and complex. Some atheists identify as humanists, skeptics, or secularists, while others reject any specific label or ideology. The internet has also played a role in shaping the definition of atheism, with online communities and social media platforms providing a space for atheists to connect and share their views. So there, guys, wag mong isampal sa amin ng isang libro kasi yun yung authority. Words evolve over time. And you shouldn't do that. Kasi I can do that to you. I will go get a book and I will say na ito yun ang definition ng faith, believing without evidence. So you're believing without evidence. So pwede kong gawin yan. Wag mo yang gawin kasi it's a bad thing to do. Go ask the person what they label as and how they define their labels. That's the best thing to do. Hindi yung magtatawag ka ng libro and gawin mo yung pangsampal sa mga atheists. Na we all know naman, in the whole time I'm saying, I was telling you a story na words evolve. No, na it was strong before, nag-shift siya, parang naging activism, it's against religion, and then nag-shift na naman yung definition through time. So yun. If you ask me what I am in that in all those definition, I'm just an agnostic atheist. If you are gonna talk to me about the concept of God, the Creator, without the name, without any links to religion, I am an agnostic. Kasi I don't think it's knowable. We don't have the tools. If it's defined like this, na it's that God is beyond space and beyond time, then how can I test that? How can our people test that? How can scientists and our tools be able to detect that if it's beyond our reach? We can reach space, we can reach time, but if it's beyond space and time, then it's an unknowable being. Therefore, I am an agnostic. I'm not talking about Jesus Christ or Muhammad or Allah. I'm talking about a deistic being. Whatever that is, it could be a woman, it could be a monster, it could just be a pure energy, like pure energy, or it could just be a literal na God na man, or a being. I'm talking in that sense, hindi yung biblical God na alam mo. So, I am an agnostic. Now, when it comes to religions, mainstream religions, I am an atheist. I can go and step further that God doesn't exist. Kasi I can point to the Bible as a source to say that that's crap. I'm sorry with the word, no, but that's how I feel when reading it. It's no different from any kind of fantastical books that I read. The only difference is that it was handed down to me and I was told na it's a literal it's a work from God. If that wasn't fed to me and binigay lang siya na book kasabay ng mga books like ng mga Greek mythology and ng Harry Potter and ng Lord of the Rings, I would think na yung Bible na dumaan while I was reading things fiction lang. Kaso when I was little, it was introduced to me by my parents na ito yung literal na ginawa ng isang Diyos through through fisherman na walang education. So this is really a something na from a God. Obviously, mag-shift yung utak ko and may bias na ako when reading it. Every letters and every word will all digest and will all lead me to believe that yes, this is really a work of God. So it's like working backwards, no? Instead of working forward. You should not believe on first and then believe later. Hindi yung may belief ka na and then maghahanap ka na lang ng mga evidence para mas strong pa ang belief mo. You should be a skeptic at first or by default, don't believe and then you got convinced. Hindi yung you were convinced at the start, at the very young age pa, wala pang critical thought ang bata, masyado. And, yun. Kasi a lot, you can even, there's like I've read na may mga bata na 8 years old, pababa, na hindi na introduced to religion, and they were handed down books, and Bible is just walang special sa kanila pagdating sa sa Bible. Hindi something na may nag-click na wow, parang totoo to na mayroon palang literal na Jesus. Hindi. Kasi nabasa din nila ang Greek books and myths. It's like they're reading very well well written, sige na lang, na fiction. So yun. So I hope na when we have the chance to talk, sana wala na yung mga hindi ka pala atheist. Ang nakakaumay yun kasi like, my whole life hindi pala ako atheist. I mean, ito yung name ng channel ko, tas yun yung that's going to be our first conversation. I mean, come on, man. Just accept that there are people like me. Don't believe with your God. You can even call Muslims atheist, no? In context with your Jesus, kasi hindi naman siya naniniwala sa Jesus mo. Hindi naman siya naniniwala sa Jehovah mo or sa Bible mo. In a way, atheist siya. Atheistic siya sa religion mo. atheistic siya sa Diyos mo. He happens just to be a Muslim. And you are a Christian as well. You are in a way atheistic sa religion ng Islam. But if we go that to the technical level, obviously you're not. You're a theist in the general sense kasi naniniwala ka na may Diyos. Us on the other hand is wala. We live through life na as if walang big brother na nakikinig sa mga sinasabi namin or tinitingnan lahat ng mga ginagawa namin. Hindi kami ganoon. Walang ganoong klaseng paranoia. That's the term. Na we are constantly being watched. No? So, in a way, comfortable kaming gawin yung mga gusto naming gawin. And if you're thinking na, since walang tumitingin, so nagnanakaw ka ng piso or nagnanakaw ka ng 20 dyan sa mesa hindi ako, I have that right actually. I can kill, I can murder, I can rape. But right now, I have 0 murders and I have 0 rapes. Kasi, ang daming problema pag ganun. Like, if you rape someone, papatayin niya yung family mo, mapupunta ka sa kulungan, problema. And we've created actually a system that will not, nagawa na natin to. Nandito na tayo sa civilization. That's one of the reasons why na hindi na tayo nagpapatayan na nagre-rapean. Kasi there are consequences, big consequences sa mga stupid actions natin. But do know na all of us actually have all that kind of power to kill and to murder and to rape and to kidnap. But we are not doing any of that. Okay? Your reason might be because of God. My reason is why? Why would I kidnap? I'm busy working. Why would I rape? I have all the things here. I'm not lustful. I'm not that violent to hurt people. Why would I spend energy on those things? Why? Hindi ito sa perspective ng isang tao na may Diyos, no? Kasi baka sa inyo it's bawal, sinabi ng Diyos, or it's wrong thing to do. But for me, iba din yung reasoning ko. We both have reasonings why we don't do bad things, and isn't that enough? If you are afraid na what's stopping you from killing someone? Myself is stopping me from killing someone, same as yourself. Your God is stopping you from killing someone. But why? Bakit may mga nangyayari na rape pa rin, na religious yung tao or atheist yung tao? Hindi nila na-stop yung sarili nila. Same lang tayo. Walang pinagkaiba. Iba lang yung reasoning natin. Diyos yung sa'yo, akin is more about on a personal level, no? And hindi ba yan okay? I'm not talking anymore to that guy. I'm just talking in general now. So, yun. Words evolve over time. I do not define as a person who believes there are no gods, because there could be gods out there. Kasi who am I to say na walang Diyos, ano? Pwede namang yung Diyos pala is the whole time is Zeus. No? Pwede namang the whole time ang Diyos pala is si Vishnu. So, I don't know. I am not saying that. I'm not closing any doors for any kinds of gods. But when it comes to the defined gods, the biblical gods, the Quran gods, yung mga books, mga holy books kuno, hindi ako convinced. And I can go a step further that they are all crap. Kasi narinig ko ang story, there are a lot of inconsistencies. I am way morally upright than the things that were taught there. For example, yung slavery, pag-murder ng mga children, paano i-own yung mga slaves, paano i-own yung paano i-solve pag na-rape yung slave mo. I am way more moral than those kinds of things that were taught there. And a lot of things. And if that is for you good enough para maging mabuti kang tao, then okay. I'm not judging you. I'm sure if you've read those things that I've read, hindi mo naman siguro gagawin na pumapatay ka na ng bata, ano? Hindi mo naman siguro yun susundin. Pero I would rather spend my time on things that make more sense to me, that aligns to me more. So, if for example humanism aligns to me more, then I'd stick there and follow whatever good teachings are there. If meron silang teaching na medyo wait, ang weird nito I won't. I like the idea of veganism as well, but I'm not a vegan. I just like the idea na pati animals hindi nila gustong i-harm. If only we can manufacture food that don't require us to kill animals, I would. I mean, I would eat synthetic food if that's available and if that's cheaper and if that's practical and wala nang mamamatay na baboy and manok and mga ano, I would become a vegan, but for right now hindi, kasi hindi siya practical, wala akong pera to afford that kind of lifestyle, and I would support na lang to the process of killing animals in a more humane way and to have them live in a more humane way, kasi alam naman natin na yung mga conditions ng mga baboy na kinukulong sa mga farms na marurumi, very very small lang yung space, yung mga manok kawawa. So I would rather support bills and laws that will at least man lang hindi ganoon ka shit yung life nila. Mabuhay sila ng okay sa isang farm and then katayin sila. And that is still dark, no? I would like to have to witness someday na wala nang maha-harm talaga. But that's just me. It aligns to what I feel like is right, no? And then skepticism. It aligns to me as well. I would want to live a life na hindi ako gullible. I am gullible. I can fall to any kinds of fake news. Hindi ako immune, Kaya careful akong mag-share kasi baka fake yung ko. Careful ako sa mga na-hype na mga news. Hindi all the time I still get kaya nga hindi perpekto, but gusto ko na may sistema sana na lahat ng tao is skeptics, na lahat ng tao hindi agad naniniwala, lahat ng tao dapat nagtatanong, nagrereklamo, kino-question, iniimbestiga ang isang bagay before we apply it, before we put it into law, para sure tayo. Kasi even if we are sure, nagkakamali pa din tayo. 'Di ba? So, how much more if we're not? I hope na you learn something new. Please, let's have a discussion. I'm sorry if may mga words akong mga nabitawan dito that hurts you. I can't parang hindi ko ma-stop yung self ko din sometimes when I say when I criticize the Bible, no? Kasi that's just how I feel din If you feel na, if you think na mali yun, let me know and let's have a discussion, kasi I would want to also improve, no? Baka pangit yung way ng pagkasabi ko and it just furthers the divide instead of us talking na. So yun. Thank you and see you.